Hey, so just a quick video to talk through the few questions that you've sent in. So the first one is about randomizing blocks within the survey. So absolutely this is possible. I think, yeah, I have 2 blocks in this test survey, so that's perfect. So to do this, you'll be doing this in the survey flow. So the survey flow is where you would work with blocks of questions. So kind of the flow of your survey, but on a larger scale than just on the question level. So if we click into survey flow, you will see all of the list of the blocks of questions that are currently in your survey. I'm just going to remove these just because to remove confusion. So this is what your survey flow should look like starting off. It's just your blocks of questions. So if you click on add a new element here, there is a randomizer in here that you can drag your questions into. So if I move this up to the top, say for example, I want everyone to see these first 2 blocks, but I want to randomize the order of these ones. So all I need to do is just move these blocks inside my randomizer. And now these will be randomized in the order that they are presented. I could also use this randomizer to make sure maybe one of the 2 are displayed if I want. So it has 2 different purposes. It can show as many of a set amount of blocks, or it can just randomize the order of the blocks, whichever suits best. If I bring this down to 1, it would only show one or the other of these. And I can use evenly present elements to make sure that they are presented on a pretty even level as well. So the second question was about exporting data from specific questions of your survey. So there's no pre-built function to actually export just specific blocks of questions, but you can completely customize the questions that are exported from Qualtrics. So if we click into data analysis, we can click in here, and basically this data analysis section right here is completely customizable in terms of what data you have on here. So if we go over to tools over here and go down to choose columns, we can include whatever information we're interested in. So we can choose from survey metadata. If you distribute it to a contact list, you can pull in contact fields, embedded data, and questions from your survey. So you could say, for example, okay, I only want to include questions from my first block of questions in the survey. So you just need to make sure that all of the questions from your first block are included on this page. So maybe actually I'll go down here and do it from here. So I want to go from question 11 onwards. So 11, 13, 9, 12 and score, for example, are the ones that I am interested in. And then all the rest I do not want included, so I just need to make sure none of those are selected. Yep, so that looks good. I'm also going to remove the recorded date metadata. So now I have all of the information that I'm interested in on this page. And now we can make sure that only the information on this page is exported to our Excel file. So to do this, just go to export and import and go to export data. And there's 2 different options here. The first one is the legacy format, which is just the entire data set in the old platform kind of function or layout. And then there's download data table. So if we click at a download data table, this is just a new exporter. And by default, download all fields is selected. So to download all of the data for the survey. But if we unselect this, now only the fields that we have selected across the top here will be exported. So if we download this file right now, we will only get data for 9, 12, 11, 13, all the 13s and the score right here. We can also apply a filter to this, and when we use that same export type, it will take into consideration any filters that you have set as well. So like I say, it is completely customizable in terms of what data you can export. The next question then was around a survey protection on your survey. So it looks like there's survey protection or a password set on your survey. To get into and remove this, that will be in the survey options area of your survey. So if we click into here, there is a survey protection area and there is password protection right here. So more than likely this is just checked and there's a password entered in here. So if you just uncheck that, it will make sure that you will not be asked for a password and you will be brought to the first question of the survey. The only other thing I could think of that if that's not the case is that there is a authenticator in your survey flow. So if that's the case, just remove the authenticator from your survey flow by clicking delete. The next one then is survey protection. So you were saying that you're going to be distributing unique links to your participants, so like links that are specific to each member of your contact list, but you also want to include a password as well to be tied to their data. So is it that it sounds like you want them to be able to enter that password to make sure that they know who they are, or make sure that the correct person is taking the survey or something like that. So to do that, you would be entering a password into your contact list as an embedded data field. So I don't know if you've done that before. If not, I will send on a support page on how to add embedded data fields to your contact list. But once you have added it to your contact list, all you need to do is add a new element to your survey flow and then use it embedded data. Move this up to the very top so it's recorded straight away. And in here, you're going to type whatever you call that embedded data field that contains your password. So if, for example, you call it password. So when that unique link is sent around, we will be able to strip from the panel, from the contact list, what that fast password value is for that user. So then if I save the flow, if you want to set up a question that asks them for their password, we can actually do this. And to do this, I'm just going to unlock and I'm going to add a question and I'm going to make it a text entry and I'm going to say, please enter your password. Word. Okay, perfect. And then for the value, or for the validation, we can now use pipe text of that embedded data field that we've set up so that it must match whatever value is assigned to that person. So we just go to custom validation right here. Actually, I just realized we'll have to do this out here. So we first need to grab the pipe text of that embedded data field. So to do that, just click into any question box, go to pipe text, and then we're piping from an embedded data field. It's from the password field. So when working with embedded data, this is always case sensitive and space sensitive. So make sure you're typing it the exact same way the whole way through. And click insert, and this will generate this little piece of code that will dynamically change to insert the value for the password field for each person. You can remove it from there because we don't need it anymore. Just copy it, and now in custom validation, we want to say if this question, please enter your password, is equal to, and then just paste in that code so that it must match the code that's given in the embedded data field in the survey flow. Then all we need to do is just set a message. So click on load a save message, go to my library, and you can either use one you've built before, or down the bottom there will be an option for new message. So you can just insert, please, your password does not, or your password does not match, or something like that. That's just a description. You'd add validation, error text, for example, and then the message you want to show, and then just click save the whole way through. The last question then is to share surveys that have already been created in Qualtrics with other users. Absolutely, that's possible. That's very, very straightforward. So if we go out to My Projects, any project that you want to share with another user, you just need to go over to this Actions column over here and go to Share Project. In this area then, if you know someone's username, you can type that in. If not, just type any email address associated with that person's account. So for example, I'm just going to type in my own, just as an example. Curia@qualtrics.com. And then you can click add. So if they are actually on the same license as you, you will see their name down here and you can click on that and add. If they're not in that little contact list, you can just click add anyway and an email will be sent to them. This will now send to this account right here, and I can specify what permissions I want this person to have. So if you don't want them to have full control over your survey, you just need to change those permissions around a little bit. Then you just need to click send down the bottom. They will be sent an email saying that the survey has been shared with them. Now this is as long as both of the users have the correct permissions. You should know straight away, because either you will not have this available in your account, which means you don't have that permission. If that's the case, just reach out to me. Or if the person themselves do not have a permission, you might receive an error message, or they just might not be able to receive it in their account. Again, if that does happen, please just let us know. When you share this with them, they log in, it should be available in their account, but I would always recommend just refreshing the account by clicking on the little person icon to the top right hand corner and going to refresh account to make sure it pulls through. So I think that's the 5 questions you've sent in, but if you do have any more, please just let me know. If not, you can call in at any stage and just get them answered straight away.